Intro. First time I fell in love, it was back in the day on vacay with fam the show FLA. Arrived at the spot for the night, weekend late. Crept down to the small hotel arcade. Scanned the room for a cabinet to grab my attention like my name was Derek H at E3. To my surprise, my eyes were wide open, who can say the cause of this fall? All I had to do was play. Look at those graphics, I'm acting like I was blind before. And on the very same day I became a graphics whore. I mean the colors and the sprites, how they scale so smooth, I'm ashamed. I never thought I'd be that dude, you Suzuki. Son, I wish that I could convey what you did to young S, man. I wish I could pay for a collection of your classics on Xbox One. But you're in bed with Sony now, so that dream is done. Remember when games were nice and you would roll the dice on price? Without all of the Sony hype, I just might have to generationally fight through these idiots and fanboys to survive the night. Take flight before Sony commences to bite. No original idea since the Walkman. Like every game at E3 is the same as before. You be waiting 4 years till it's up in the store. The year 2009, the place LAE3. Wait, the sun had a megaton for everyone to see. Anticipating Team Ico's next masterpiece, at least. Status quo, Sony's press are built in hyperbole. To release 2 years later on the PS3. Can it be? Nope. Delayed because of hardware difficulties. Now push the PS4 in 21-2. The hype is gone already, Sony. Now what you gonna do? 2015 rolls around and it's E3 once again. We get a visit from a very familiar old friend. They show us what they've been doing for the past 8 years. Of course the crowd full of fanboys, nothing but cheers. The footage kinda looked like PS3 to me. Kinda rough, a lot of jaggies, not impressive to see. I want this lesson to be too much too soon. The way of the buffoon wasted hyperbole. Remember when games were nice and you would roll the dice on price? Without all of the Sony hype, I just might have to generationally fight through these idiots and fanboys to survive the night. Take flight before Sony commences to bite. No original idea since the Walkman. Like every game at E3 is the same as before. You be waiting 4 years till it's up in the store. Remember when games were nice and you would roll the dice on price? Without all of the Sony hype, I just might have to generationally fight through these idiots and fanboys to survive the night. Take flight before Sony commences to bite. No original idea since the Walkman. Like every game at E3 is the same as before. You be waiting 4 years till it's up in the store.
minutes, y'all. 12. Nine minutes.
6 minutes. so you don't get any feedback. Oh yeah, I have feedback from my phone. That's where the music's coming from, because I'm lazy. Kind of, yeah. I could rhyme to this track, but my brain feels hollow. Hollow. Halloween was yesterday. Yeah. I'm waiting for the clickety clock. And it's dark outside already. It's so weird. It's daylight savings time. Oh well, what do you know? It is time. It's time. That's the wrong one. It's time. There it is. Is that the right one? Hold on a second. There it is. What up, y'all? It's R9cast, the official blind edition controversial. So super. Wait, it's the R9cast, the official double-edition controversial magagisho super dope show for ElectronBandit.com. Oops. I guess I better promote that more, since I've been paying for it for like 1,000 years. Never used it. Yeah, I'm Stephen. I'm Stephen Gibson. Stephen. Just because Steph Curry spells the same name. You know what I'm saying? Just because Steph Curry doesn't mean people start calling me Steph. It's Stephen. You know what I'm saying? You go and you say, hey, who's the guy who wrote Carrie? Who's the guy who wrote Christine? Who's that guy? What's his name? It's not Stephen King. It's Stephen. But if you want to be regular, if you want to be basic, you say Stephen, because you can't read. But it's really, you say the PH quick. Sounds like a V. Some languages, some accents. I'm just saying. Happy November, everyone. Nope. What they? It's No Nut November. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Good luck with that. I like nuts. They're good for my health. If you want to be part of the conversation, you can go to my Twitch, which is R9cast on Twitch. You can go to my YouTube, which is Electron Bandit. The channel is the Electron Bandit. That's me. It's a little black and white drawing of my face. And where else? Facebook. If you're Facebook friends with me, I usually see Legend up in there. I don't see him right now though. Legend jump in there and be like, yo, steaks. I'm like, oh yeah, boy, give me them steaks. He like putting pictures of his like Aloha steaks and stuff from Aloha from Hope, because he's in Hawaii. What are you gonna do, man? I like pictures of food. It's like as a human, you know, it's like you like that stuff. Okay. Oh, by the way, my green screen is missing. Someone stole it now. I have to use it because I'm making a video. So I made a window. You see, there's a window. There's my window of green screen right there. So you see a little bit through the background. Anyway, you know, they sell these at, they sell these at Walmart. It's just felt. It's green felt, you know. And I was like, oh, it's like, I don't know, it's 28 cents for a little square. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool if you need to cover something up real quick. It's not really, really, really green, but it's close enough, so it works. That's what that is back there. I'm gonna have another giant piece I bought like a while ago. So if you need a green screen, what I'm saying is, if you need a green screen in a pinch, you can go to your favorite fabric store and get some felt that is green enough, and it works. Rather than, you know, ordering it on Amazon, never knowing when it's gonna come in, and you know, and you can get whatever size. I mean, it's like, I forgot what the width of the rolls are, but you can get a long ass roll. You know what I mean? And cover your whole everything. So, you know, depends. Anyway, enough of that. Stuff's happening. By the time next week rolls around, still won't have an Xbox, because I don't think I'm gonna get one yet. I want one. Okay, so I'm like, yo, Xbox Series S. I'm like, yo, that's a good deal, son. But then I'm like, beep, boop, 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 beep, in my brain. I'm like, beep, beep, boop, boop, beep. And I said, well, if I get an X, Series X, then I go, boom, that goes in the living room on the big TV on the 65. And then I put the 1X in her to stream.
That way, I have the better box on the better TV. And I'm gonna, oh snap, who put that in there? Is that Pacey? Hey, Pace. So you get, oh yeah, I saw you get the headphones and you got both. You got the PS4 headphones and whatever those Sony ones are. How much were the Sony ones, not the PlayStation ones? How much were they? And you got a TV too, I assume. But you didn't get a PlayStation 5. That's funny. Why don't you? How come Sony didn't send you a PlayStation 5, Pace? Come on, son. You gotta pop open a fresh can of YouTube videos and be like, yo, I love PlayStation, give it to me. And they be like, oh, let's give it to this guy. He loves us. I don't know how it works. I didn't ask Xbox for an Xbox. I didn't ask Xbox for an Xbox. What I was gonna do, I was gonna be like, yo, P3, yo, check this out. I'm gonna buy an Xbox, right? You don't have to send me a free Xbox like you said. Everybody Xbox. You don't have to send me one because I got money. I'll spend it to make you guys success. You don't need my money. Jeez, they have so much money, it's ridiculous. But point is, I want the empty boxes to put in the background because I would feel stupid buying a real console to put in the background. If it's like I'm gonna use this console to play games, that's dumb. So I'm like, yo, give me the empty box. I'll buy it. How much does plastic cost? Seriously. It's like, yo, I'll pay the whatever, $10, $20. Would it be? No, it won't be $20. Would it be $20? 15. I'll be like, you know what? $20. $20 is my top number. If it's $20 each, I'll be like, or 20 for the X, 15, $14.98 for the S. I'm down. I'll buy it just for the background, for props. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like paint it and sell it back or nothing. I'm not gonna do that. Opti says, I got the Sony ones at $225 before taxes. Was an Amazon treasure truck delay. Oh, deal. Yeah, the A number. Dude, I bought a new Sony TV, 2 Sony handsets, and my Target PS5 got canceled. Oh snap, that's messed up. You see, it says Della. I'm sorry, I thought you missed the Y. That's why. Call me. You said deal, you fool. That's messed up. I think what had happened was I sound like a Target representative. I see from Target. Okay, that sound is Bridget going in and out doors. That's my door alarm notifier. So if you hear that, it's gonna keep going because I'm not gonna turn it off. Anyway, what I believe is happening with the PlayStation 5 in particular, I haven't really heard of Xbox canceling orders, but just on the PlayStation 5 side, is that a lot of retailers oversold their pre-orders, if I'm not mistaken, and the allotment that they're getting from Sony cannot fulfill the pre-orders. So even if it wasn't canceled, you wasn't gonna get it on the 12th. You might get it in this. You might get it in December. You might get it in January. That's what's kind of messed up about what's going on. Like right now, not like right now, but like as far as this pre-order stuff. I mean, it was a mess when the first day it was like, yo, pre-orders is open. Like what? Gotta go run and try to get a pre-order. Like, oh my god, I got sound effects. Hold up. You be like, oh my god, I got a pre-order real quick. That's how they do it in the movies, right? With the Foley. I probably just messed up my keyboard. Anyway, so that's what I heard. And that's what makes sense, right? Like, because retailers have the right to their day one allotment that would be in stores, they could pre-sell those as pre-orders, right? So that makes sense, right? So I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's their prerogative to do whatever they want with the stock that they're gonna get. But I think that they oversold and they're not getting enough stock, so they can't fill in your order, so they canceled it. Just to be safe, so that like the day comes and you're like, yo, where's my console, son? And they're like, we have to wait. We oversold pre-orders. That's messed up. And so this is what I want to know. How, okay, the number that they're like, yo, we got so many pre-orders on the PlayStation 5 side, sold a million pre-orders, right? I want to know what that number is now minus all the cancellations. That's what I'm saying. Because you could try to be all slick and sly and hype it up and be like, oh, look at all these pre-orders. And meanwhile, they getting all canceled. So minus numbers, like what's the actual real number now? Huh? No. That's my question. And it just seems, how does that happen, right? Like, did Sony give them a false number? Like, yo, we're gonna give you 150, and they're like, yeah, you're getting 20. Like, well, wait, what? Only 20? Then they go cancel everybody. You know what I mean? I've heard multiple stories of their cancel pre-orders. I've heard multiple, not just you, Opti. I mean, just like actual real internet influencers, I'd say. I don't think you're an influencer. Not like to the size of like the people I'm talking about. I'm not trying to take anything away from you, Opti. I appreciate you hanging out, but like the big people who actually didn't get. Well, actually, most of them got PlayStation. You know what? This is another thing. Another thing people were saying, or they were joking, but basically they were saying all those canceled pre-orders from like Target and all that stuff, all those allocations, they sent them to all the influencers. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. I mean, that's not the case. That's like maybe a couple 100,000, 500 or something consoles probably went out to influencers. And I don't think that made a big. I mean, honestly, if you want to be real for real, it does make a difference because those 500 or however many they sent to influencers, that would have went to regular people who had pre-orders, but they canceled them because they sent them for free to influencers and internet peoples. So that's kind of messed up. And it's funny. It's like Xbox did it first, right? They sent Xbox out. You know, yo, check it out. You know, do this, do that, do things. What Sony do? Bite. They do the same thing. I wonder why Sony did. And then your pre-order, I can't even talk. Your pre-order gets canceled. That's messed up. Man, I'm so glad that I don't need to buy a PlayStation 5. Legend, what's up? Aloha, brother. Appreciate you coming in. Hopefully everything is cool with you and your grill and your family, of course. They're more important than the grill. Yeah, they are. I mean, it's close. It's close though. You know what I'm saying? Because them ribs be like, they calling to me something. I'm like, yo, ribs in my belly. Opti says, good. Opti says, what was the whole Xbox not sending Xbox Series X's to the black influencers? Yeah, well, no, they did actually. They were just at the back of the bus. You know what I'm saying? They were at the back of the bus. No, I think what they did was they sent it to the most popular because Lamar Wilson got one and Paris got one and I forgot homeboy's name. He got one too. He got glasses. So yeah, they got him. Did you see that whole drama a few weeks ago? Yeah, I mean I saw it, but it rectified itself. But I think what they did was they looked at the numbers because Microsoft is very calculated when they do stuff. Now, I'd say they think a lot more because before it was just like, yo, we're Microsoft Blue with Donnie D in the place to be. Donnie M was like, yo, I'm the boss. Go buy 360. I'm like, what? Huh? But now it feels like, let's see. let's see what we should do here. Calculated racist. I think, I didn't finish what I was going to say. Calculated, I would say, in that they probably looked at the numbers like, oh, this person is the top influencer. So, yes, they are going to get, like, iJustine got a fridge, right? Guess who else got a fridge? Guess who got a fridge before iJustine? You know, iJustine, a white blonde lady, is very famous. And she has every right to be famous because how she came up. She was like the first Twitcher. She was on Twitch before it was Twitch. You know what I'm saying? She was number 2. As Justin was number 1. Snoop Dogg got the first fridge. Snoop Dogg. Last time I checked, Snoop Dogg is a brother. He's bruv. You know what I mean? And he's like super bruv. Cause he's like super famous. Yes. He smoke weed every day. You know what I'm saying? He's extra bruv. He got his bruv citizenship. He's in the bruv encyclopedia. He has super bruv status. So I'm just saying, if Snoop gets a fridge before the powerful white blonde woman, then I would doubt that they are racist. I mean, their boss is a Indian dude. Come on, son. He's brown. He is brown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm actually brown, but I'm not of the brown race, as they call it. I guess I'm more black. You know, Bahamian. So African by way of Bahamia, Bahamas. Calcul racist. Calcul racist. Can't even say it. I can't even say it. But I'm just saying, yeah, no. Excuse me. Sony seems a little more. Well, I mean, Japanese tend to be a little xenophobic towards everybody that isn't Japanese, not just like black people or whatever. So that's a whole cultural thing. And me as a Chinaman in my heritage, I should really hate Japanese everything because they did us wrong as my people, as a spokesman of my people, which I only know like one saying, which is shishi, which is I think thank you, and I learned that from Rush Hour. So yeah, I suck as a Chinaman. I believe that Kajiro asked, what did Japanese do to your people? You should look up what the Japanese did to the Chinese during, I believe it was World War II. Or was it World War I? I don't remember, actually. I don't know it that much, but I know they did wrong to the China. They were enslaving us, my people. And it was bad. I mean, it was almost as bad as what America did to the Japanese when they were in World War II. You know what I mean? Almost as bad. Maybe. I don't know. We're not going to get into that because that's not what this is about. This is about, I put my hatred for Japanese, not people, but what they did to another, race of people aside to talk about video games, to talk about Sony, and not in that context, but in the other context, which is customer relations, just good for the customer, blah, blah, blah. Legend says, Kill Slaughter, great. You name it. Dark history, man. Look it up. Yeah, I wasn't going to get into it, but they did. They did some bad stuff. Anyway, putting that aside, putting history aside, talking about just games, because I can't front. Japanese video games made me fall in love with video games, period, It wasn't Pac-Man, even though that's Japanese. Can't escape it. It wasn't Atari. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, Atari's so good. I love it, America. Nah, son, nope. Pong wasn't doing it for me. I was like, Pong is dumb. If I want to play tennis, I mean, badminton is more fun than freaking Pong, to be real. I mean, even though it's physical, work, physical exertion, activities, more than Pong, it's just more fun, for real. Hitting that shuttlecock. I just like saying shuttlecock. I don't know. Why would they call it a shuttle? Anyway. Legend says, Paperboy made me fall in love with video games. Nice. You know what, Paperboy? I think if you got like a top 20, in my top 20, I would say Paperboy is one. I would say that all of my top 20 is probably arcade games. Maybe there's a few actual video game. No, I can't say that because when I was gaming, in the 80s, it was the arcades was popping because the home consoles was hot garbage. Even Nintendo, I was like, yo, let me play the, arcade version of something and then go try to play Space Harrier on the NES. I'm like, yo, this is hot. This is even worse than the Sega Master System version. And that's okay. Caught it. Legend says, when I was a kid, the arcade there was nothing like it. Blew my mind. Yeah, man. I had two arcades in my house. I had I had Adventures. Wow, my brain just... Okay, yeah. I had Adventures, which was in the Cross County Shopping Plaza, which was just as Central Lab started. You guys don't know what the streets are, but anyways, Yonkers. And other one further up at Nathan's, up on Central Ave. And we rode our bikes, yo, because Nathan's was further. It's like, yo, you want to play some real game? You want to play some games? You want to play sit down outrun? We going to Nathan's. You want to play Dragon's Lair? We going to Nathan's. You want to play Afterburner? Sit down? Nathan's. So I was like, yo. So like top 20 list. It's mostly arcade games. Number 1, Space Harrier. Number 2. Well, actually, number 1, Space Harrier. Everything else is not in order, but Space Harrier, Afterburner, Outrun, Power Drift, Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, like Space Ace, Gauntlet. I'm trying to think. Gauntlet 2. I'd say Gauntlet. Trying to think. What else? Galaxy Force. A lot of Sega games, obviously. Let's see. I'm at 8. I'll think of the rest. Kaiju said arcade on Friday and Saturday was fun times. True. Opti says, you guys able to pre-order PS5s? He asking. Kaiju the Legend. Legend says there's a Castle Park about a couple of miles away from my house. So good. I don't know what Castle Park is, but I guess it's a chain of something that has an arcade, or it's an arcade chain. That's kind of cool, arcade chain. But trying to think. Super Hang On. Forgot about that one. That's 9. Trying to think. If funny, I don't have any like fighting games. I mean, I play a little bit of I played Street Fighter, the first one, and I was like, And I played Street Fighter 2. I was like, okay, this is better. And then Turbo came out. I was like, okay, this is way better. And I was like, I can't. I'm not. And I never got into Mortal Kombat or Pit Fighter. I played a couple times. Like, I wasn't. I tried to play a little Virtual Fighter. I was like, Daytona. When they got to the Naomi board on Sega, I was like, I'm not feeling it. It's all right. I like the sprite-based super scalar games better than the polygonal 3D stuff. Legend says arcade style up to look like a castle. Arcade styled up to look like a castle with go-karts, 100% childhood down. Oh, you know what that's like? That was like oh shoot, what was it called? It was called Boomers. There was one in Boca, and then there was one in Fort Lauderdale. The one in Fort Lauderdale closed down. They actually built a freaking wooden roller coaster down there, and that thing, it ran for like a couple of years, and then they stopped running it, and then they tore it down. I forgot what's there now. It's nothing. It's a shopping plaza. I don't know what they put there, but they used to have go-karts there too. So Boomer, it used to be called Grand Prix Racerama, and that was a big arcade. I was like, yo, it was so big that they had 2 buildings. They had the first building that was like right on 95, you could see it from the highway, and then the other building was like a little bit down the same street, a little bit down, and I was like, they had Power Drift there. I think last time I went there, they had Power Drift. I mean, I think they closed, but it was so good. I was like, oh man, I love it, and that's where I'm like. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I want to get all the games of my childhood for nostalgia's sake. Not to like, I'm going to play this every day. Just for nostalgia, kind of like build an arcade, a MAME arcade that's like a shrine to my nostalgia and my memories of video games as I fell in love and grew up with them, right? That's all I want to do, just to have it there. And just like one day I'm like, just slap it and like, play a little bit and just, But it's hard to capture that same feeling, that same experience, because Afterburner 2 was a freaking sit down and it moved, it did all that stuff, had the yoke and the stick. Outrun had a wheel, Power Drift wheel. I mean, I could do Outrun, Power Drift and all the other car games, and then do a stick, for the Super Thunderblade and Galaxy Force and stuff like that. So I'd have to make like three or I'd have to make 3 MAME machines basically. So, but yeah, one day I'll do it. Maybe, I don't know, when I retire. I don't know. It's like when I retire. Basically, based on my age, my retirement paper said I will be eligible for retirement to get all the good stuff at 2033. So another 12 years, let's just say, because this year's pretty much over. Legend says Gauntlet was the bomb. Yo, get your quarters ready because we going. I know, right? We would spend mad money on this. Luckily, it was just one quarter, but it was just so. I love, my favorite Gauntlet boards were the ones that were like the spiral that went around. It was like one or two lanes kind of wide, so you go and you had to like hit the little mob generators and stuff. Man, I love that game. That's such a Valkyrie needs food badly. It's such a good game. I love it. It was a warrior, thief, Valkyrie, and wizard, right? It was always wizard. Wizard needs food badly. That's such a cool game, man. And then they try to do like a polygonal 3D type for the consoles, and I'm like, nah, son, this ain't it. Know what they should do? I don't know if Atari still owns Gauntlet or who owns Gauntlet. It might be Activision. Not sure. But they should redo Gauntlet, but do it as cel shaded, not anime, but cartoon animation, cel shaded stuff. Not 3D cel shaded, but just actual hand drawn. Kind of like Streets of Rage, the Streets of Rage 4. Yeah, do Gauntlet like that, man, because that's basically what it was. It was just pixel art, but you could do the same thing. And the animation was pretty good on that stuff, like how you. And the freaking thief was mad quick with them arrows, like. I was like, oh. The warrior was like, he's a warrior or barbarian? Warrior is warrior. Warrior needs food badly. Gone like 99, bro. 100 points of life. Last man standing. There's a Streets of Rage 3 and 4. Yes, Kaijudo. Gauntlet 99. Okay, you know what? Legend, you know what? Yeah, yep, yeah, They could, if they did Gauntlet 99, which is regular Gauntlet, I'm fine with that. Or, I'm trying to remember what the difference between Gauntlet and Gauntlet 2 were. I don't remember. I think it was just different boards and better, not better, but, they had different boards. And did they have more, or you could be the same character? I don't remember. If the first one, could you be like two wizards and stuff like that? I can't remember. Yeah. But I played through Streets of Rage 4. It's good. It's Streets of Rage, but if you like cool animation, it's pretty good. Different boards, special powers, multiple, same character. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. I remember being like a red Valkyrie or something, or a blue thief, or a blue barbarian, a blue warrior. Get Ghostbusters free in Epic Game Store now. Is that that latest one they put out? That was on I think it was on 360, right? I don't want to play on my PC though. I don't know. Well, Xbox is supposed to have whatchamacallit, an announcement or some kind of talking to something happening on the 9th, I think. So we'll see if they bought Epic or not. Yo, if Microsoft buys Epic, I'm like, okay, now I can play it on Game Pass, thanks. Or if they could buy Epic. That's a quick shift. They could buy Epic. They could buy there was another one in my brain that I was like, yeah, if they buy that would be cool too. I mean, Epic would be big because they get Fortnite, but then they get Unreal Engine as a first party engine. So Gears is set. They don't have to pay Epic for the license. You know what I mean? I mean, they have a good relationship anyway, but still. Kaijudo says the one that's supposed to be the third movies is very. Oh yeah, that was the 360 one. I hope Epic stays Epic. There for the devs. Yeah. Well, I mean, Microsoft. We'll see how the Bethesda thing kind of goes once they actually acquire them. But from what they've said, from what I've seen, it doesn't behoove them. It doesn't make sense for them to like buy Bethesda, for instance, and say, yo, you're ours now, do what we say. Then what you will see is a mass exodus of Bethesda / Microsoft employees. Like, all right, I'm gone. I'll see. I'm going to Naughty Dog. You know what I'm saying? Because devs are devs. They get a job wherever they get a job. But if they're happy where they at and they don't change anything for real, and it's like, all right, just operate the same. If you need more money, we got you. Just make it good. You know, no more bugs. All right, we got mad testers. You get tested, so you know stuff not broke. Okay, because we know Todd. We know. I mean, you could joke about it, but it ain't no joke. Because we trying to, you know, all right? Just don't be scared. Just ask us for money. We give it to you. Okay, thanks, Phil. That's what he sounded like, right? I don't know. Okay, this says, I'm buying Skyrim digital from a PS4 before Microsoft removes it. Stop buying stuff for your PS4. Stop supporting Sony. They're very bad people there. They want to sell you Spider-Man 29 times, 12 different ways. Like, yo, you got a PS5, you can buy Spider-Man, Miles Morales for 40. No, for wait, how much is it? 50 for just Miles Morales? Or you could get Spider-Man with Spider-Man for 70. Or you could just get it for the PlayStation 4 for 50. How much is it going to be on PlayStation 4? I don't even know. There's so many questions on the PlayStation 5 side. There's so many questions. That's a new question. Like, how much is Miles Morales going to cost on PlayStation 4? How much is God of War Ragnarok going to cost on PlayStation 4? How much is Horizon Forbidden West going to cost on PlayStation 4? Is it going to be $59, or are they going to be like, nah, all new games $69? Like, what? How am I paying $70 for a PlayStation 4 game now? I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. No, there is no information. They're not telling us nothing. $69 for a PlayStation 4? Come on, son. They just and see what that is? That is, oh, I guess I better go get a PlayStation 5 because it's the same price and it's better on the PlayStation 5. Also, but I would say that I think that $70 one will, if you buy it on PlayStation 4, if it is $70, I think it's going to be a free upgrade to PlayStation 5. And it's funny, right? That's another thing. They're like selectively picking games. Like, oh, this game will be a free upgrade. This game, but this one you gotta buy 29 times. It's like, I think Activision is doing that with Call of Duty. They're like, yeah, you gotta buy it twice. I'm like, what? It's like, y'all, man, y'all know nobody got no money, right? Y'all know the world is burning, right? I swear they don't real. It's like, yo, it's like a whole bunch of rich people in a meeting. Talking like, yeah, man, how we gonna sell these consoles? Like, oi, I'm Jim Ryan. We gonna tell them whatever we want to tell them, and then we gonna sell them whatever we want to sell. Raise the price. Like, but a lot of people lost their job. Well, I don't care. I can't do the accents. Turn into Jamaican. Kaijudo says, I can't wait for PS5 to come out so PS4 games will get so cheap. That's true. Well, I mean, the stuff you want to buy, the new stuff ain't gonna be cheap, so. Like the games like the God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Miles Morales, they're not gonna be cheap. So if you want to play them when they first come out, you're gonna have to pay. It would be better if Sony had a real Game Pass equivalent, because PS Now ain't not quite. It's not quite there. They trying, but it's not quite there. If they did, then yeah. I would just say sub to that, but it's not really worth it right now. They need to come up with that. Okay, Legend says, I don't get it. What are you talking about? What do you have to buy 29 times? Nothing. No, I'm just talking about, I believe Call of Duty. It's PS4, not just PS4, but the different generation versions. There's no upgrade path on that. If you buy PS4 or Xbox One version and you want to play the new stuff, like the new. I mean, it's backwards compatible, but if you want, well, actually, I don't even know if that's true. But if you want to play the new version, new next gen version, you got to buy it again. From what I've skimmed on the internet, that's what it is. Maybe I might be wrong, probably am, but you know. Opti says, can you ask Kaijudo is he got his PS5 pre-order? Kaijudo says, I don't buy God of War. Legend says, what you're saying doesn't make sense. Call of Duty is day one PS5. If you buy the PS4 version, there's no upgrade. Wait, what? If you buy the PS4 version, there's no upgrade. Right, that's what I'm talking about. There's no upgrade. So I'm saying if you have a PlayStation 4 now, and you're like, yo, I gotta play COD day one, you buy the PlayStation 4 version of the COD, and then later, a month or two later, you get a PS5. You know, can you play the PS5 version? Can your version upgrade? That's what I'm saying. You say there is no upgrade, so what I'm saying is you got to buy the game again. That's what I'm saying. Or you get it free. Okay. See, I didn't know. So, I was just trying to spread some rumors. Opti says, that's PS Plus collection of PS4 games are better games than all of Game Pass games combined. Okay, stop it. You know you have lies. Legend says you don't have to upgrade, you get it for free. Okay. But I know that not every game does that on the PlayStation 5 side, because they don't have an actual, for first party games anyway, they don't have an actual kind of program. I'll have to look it up. Let's see. I know there are some. I mean, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Come on, son. Oh, no, that's free too, right? Let's see. PS4 games. What? No free upgrade. Every PS4 game with free PS5 upgrades. Let's do all PS4 games that have free PS. See, the fact that there's a list that says all PS5 games that have upgrades means there are games that don't upgrade for free. That's what that means. There's a lot here, but there's not a lot here. Okay, so I gotta change this here. Let me put it on the burn. There we go. Assassin's Creed Valhalla PS4 version includes free upgrade. Alteraz, what? I don't know what that is. PS5 version, free. Borderlands 3 free upgrades. PS4, okay. Call of Duty Ops must own cross-gen edition or Ultimate Edition on PS4 to get free upgrade version. Standard edition owners can pay $10. That's what I'm talking about. You buy a regular version, you gotta pay extra. That's what I'm talking about. And you be like, oh, just buy the super duper ultimate. No, they're putting the price into that ultimate edition. So you're paying upgrade, not free. COD, not free. $10. Control, free upgrade with anyone who owns the ultimate edition. Once again, that's 2 games. So for 2 games, you're not eligible. If you have the original release from 2019, you are not eligible for a free upgrade. 2 games. That's even worse than COD. That whole Control thing. I remember when that came out. Cyberpunk PS5 version includes free upgrade patch to PS5 version. That's how it should be. Additional free PS5 upgrade promised via patch in 2021. Huh? Additional free PS5 upgrade? Okay. So I guess I don't know what that entails, but yeah, that's cool. Dead by Daylight version includes free Destiny 2 free upgrade. PS5 version of Destiny 2 for anyone who owns. Okay. Dirt 5 free upgrade. Doom Eternal free upgrade. Far Cry and let's see. Oh, FIFA. Oh yeah, I think FIFA and Madden have that 1 year type of thing deal. If you upgrade within a certain amount of time, which is not as bad as you having to pay $10. So that's okay. I'm like, that's like, but that's okay. Legend says you got to pay $70 for the game and you get the upgrade version for free. That's what I'm saying. If you have the version of 2019, if you bought Control, played Control, finished Control, you paid for it already. It was $59.99. You're not getting a free upgrade. Period. You can't take your disc from your PS4 Control, slip it in your PS5 and be like, give me the PS5 version. Nope. Gotta pay that $10. Gotta pay that next gen fee. Let's see. Grand Theft Auto. Yep. Free upgrade. Hitman 3 free upgrade to PS5 version for PS4 digital owners only. Now, that's a whole nother I mean, that's not bad, but come on, son. If you bought a disc, wait, actually, who bought the Hitman? Come on, son. Who did? Horizon Forbidden West free upgrade to PS5 for PS4. But owners of PlayStation 4, okay, they better do that. I'm like, man. Immortals, same. Kenna, I didn't even know that was wait a second. All the games they showed at their thing is PlayStation 4 games. So Kenna is a PlayStation. I didn't know that Kenna was a PlayStation 4 game. You see what I'm saying? Lion Ryan got us all fooled. I'm not even like a super fan or nothing. I mean, video games are cool. I think Kenna looks really cool. I'm like, yo, that's like kind of like that's like a game I could probably play right there. But Little Nightmares 2, PS4 version, Madden, until the point of Madden 20. Okay, that's like the year thing. Maneater upgrade, free upgrade PS5 version at launch for anyone who owns. Okay, at launch though, so that might be time limited. So we'll see. Bonds, what's going on? Bonds says, even every penny they ask for, no matter the company, is a penny I don't really care to give. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, no matter. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. All right, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales. This is what I'm talking about. That's number 3. Free upgrade to PS5 version only if the Ultimate Edition is purchased. Come on, son. You can't even buy the regular Miles Morales for your PlayStation 4 because guess what? You can't upgrade. Come on, why is like little $10 or $20, whatever it is, $20? Why are they trying to pinch y'all for that? I say y'all because I ain't buying none of this. They out their damn mind. That just says you going to the whole game list and the only one you have to pay upgrade is Control. Control you have to pay upgrade on Xbox. I know. I'm not saying that it's, but no. That you gotta pay for Spider-Man. You can't say, oh, you don't have to pay because all you have to do is buy the more expensive version. No, that's not how that works. If it's $59.99, which is the price of PlayStation 4 games, which is what I'm talking about, upgrade from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. If it's $59.99 and it's free upgrade, then I got no problems. But they like, yo, you got to buy the ultimate version. That's only $70. I'm like, okay, you might as well just be like, you just got to pay $10. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. The price of PS5 game is $69. They said, my brain. The price of PS5 game is $69.99. That set, they said, it is done. It's done. They said it is done. That's fine. But we're not talking about PlayStation 5 games. We're talking about PlayStation 4 games that you have or will buy. And if you own the game, can I get a free upgrade? If you buy, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So, but this one, like I said, Miles Morales, you can't buy the regular PlayStation 4 version. You have to buy the Ultimate Edition, which is not $59 or $49, whatever the price is. That's what I'm saying. They're including that upgrade price into this Ultimate Edition, and it's like it's kind of messed up. They forcing you to pay more to upgrade. That's my point. That's my whole point. Like all these where it's like, oh, if you got the PlayStation 4 version, free upgrade. That's fine. Boom, boom, boom. But Miles Morales, Forbidden West is the other one that is actually free. You pay unless Horizon Forbidden West is $69.99 on the PlayStation 4. Then, that's crazy. Why are they gonna up all the prices, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's not messed up. It's not messed up. It's set price. Well, set price is higher than it used to be, and that's messed up. The little $10 ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's doing something for us. It's only $10, sure. But why do they need it? They're not giving it to the devs. They pocketing that. They're like, yo, we can get extra $10. Let's do it. They needed an excuse to up the price, and they're doing it. So let's finish this while we're here. Mortal Kombat, free upgrade. Anyone who owns the PS4 version of the original game or Ultimate Edition. Okay, choice. NBA, Mamba Forever. That's the more expensive. I think that's the $80. I forgot how much that one is. That money is the price of the game. It's not going to the devs. Don't even try to play yourself, legend. Don't you know? You know that money when they increase, especially first party devs, right? First party devs, they have a budget and they have blah blah blah. They get paid by Sony regardless. They're not getting raises because the prices go up. No. The people who pay them, their bosses, the CEOs, are getting paid more. So they're not getting more money. The devs aren't getting more money. They're getting paid to do whatever they're doing. They're not getting more. They're not getting less. They're not getting more. They're getting the same money. So Sony as a whole getting more money doesn't mean devs are getting more money. Maybe it affords them to say, all right, you need to delay the game. Sure. You get a month. That's what the $10 gives you is an extra month of dev time. Subnautica, free upgrade for the PlayStation 5 version in 2021 for owners of the PlayStation. Oh, you gotta wait for that. That's weird. Why do you have to wait for that? Games cost money, man. I know they cost money. So why is it Why do you need $10 more? You made The Last of Us 2 with $59.99. Why you need $10 more for Spider-Man? You know what I'm saying? Or $20 more for Spider-Man actually. For this upgrade. I skipped a few. Free. Those are cool. Elder Scrolls Online. You're lucky you guys are still getting that one. Free at launch. Free. That's cool. Yeah. So there are like 3, I think. Bond says there's no such thing as free. There is no such free. Did you hear that Destruction All-Stars Derby Burbies got delayed? Remember that? Remember that? It just happened. Yeah. How come I didn't hear a whole bunch of ponies be like, "Oh man, Destruction All-Stars, tears of it's so bad." I didn't hear a lot of Xbots out there screaming like, "Oh man, delay Station 5." I mean, probably because nobody cares about the game, to be real. Even though they got like kind of cool devs on them, they got some people who were on, I believe it was Bizarre Creations and all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, they're pretty good, and it looks okay. But I'm like, what are they trying to do, right? Like, what with that game, Destruction All-Star Derby? Is this part of the All-Star lineup from Sony? Remember Battle Royale, All-Star Battle Royale? PS5 was delayed. No. The game Destruction All Star. Honestly, there was a rumor that I don't think PS5 was delayed. It's not, but Opti got his pre-order canceled from Target. So the allocations have been kind of iffy, right? So it's like, so a lot of people who ordered them, I don't think are gonna get it day one. So we'll see, in a week and a half or so, 12 days, 11 days. We'll see how that rolls off. Now, on the 10th, I'm going to go straight over to my Best Buy, and I'm going to see if I can scoop up a console right there. Regular walk in, see what's up. Put my mask on, be like, gimme. And we'll see. If they have a Series S, I'll pick it up. If they have a Series X, I'll be like, damn, can I pick this up? I have enough money. I have enough money right now for the Series S, just chilling in my banks. I don't know if I got enough to get an X, but I should get an X. I didn't pre-order it. No, I don't believe in pre-ordering. And I'm not that hungry. I'm like, I got patience. I got other stuff to do. I'm doing a video right now. It's supposed to be out on Halloween, but it's not. And it's not specifically a Halloween video, but it is definitely a darker tone type of video. It's a music video. I did the song. It's pretty much done. I think I'm going to tweak it a little bit, but it's pretty much done. But yeah, so I'm going to work on that for a couple of weeks and get it where I want it to be with the time I have and with the computer that I have, because it's really struggling. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. So I have no time I barely been playing my Xbox. I mean, I go in there and check some stuff out and a few games here and there, but I don't really play. But yeah, Legend said you'll like this one. Destruction Derby All-Stars free with PS Plus. Isn't that what you like? Ain't that your thing? Yeah, that's free, and what else is free? Isn't Sackboy free too? I think there was some other games that were free on PS Plus. See what's happening? Bug Snacks. Thank you, Opti. Bug Snacks is actually free. Yes, thank you, Legend. Opti said, you didn't pre-order Series X, dude. You're a fake Xbox fanboy. I pre-ordered Series X from Amazon. Destruction, yeah. So that's cool, but see what's happening, right? Sony's feeling the pressure from Game Pass, right? And they're trying to turn, which is it's weird. You know what they should do? This is free advice, Sony. Get rid of PS Now. Get rid of the moniker PS Now and fold it into PS Plus. Call it a day. That's what you do. Add $5 to the sub. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do it that way. Yes, Sony is feeling. If Sony wasn't feeling pressure, Destruction All-Star, Derby All-Star wouldn't be free. Bug Snacks wouldn't be free for PS Plus. Come on, son. Stop. Don't play yourself. You know Sony want that money. They love their exclusives. They want you to pay for those exclusives. What Jim Ryan said. Oh, our exclusives are so they're worth more, too much. We don't want to put them in a free, service like that. That's what he said. That's why he said they're not doing no Game Pass stuff. But now they put these little Bug Snacks and Destruction. So Destruction Derby All-Stars is hot garbage indie game level because they don't believe it's like God of War tier, obviously, because they putting it out for free. So anything they put on PS Plus for free, don't even bother. It's just like whatever. I'll play it if I feel like it one day, but it ain't God of War tier. It ain't Last of Us 2 tier. Look, I'm not making this up. This is what they said. That's why they're not doing Game Pass. Why they're not doing PS Now like how Game Pass is. Because they want to make that money. You want to make them that AAA dollars. And so anything they put into PS Plus ain't AAA. That's all I'm saying. Look, I'm saying it because they said it. Go check. That's your boy Jim Ryan. Abdi says Sony counting them fat stacks they be making from the PlayStation brand. What, they sell t-shirts and stuff? Well, they probably do, but Opti also says, when Sony see that they can make more money with a Game Pass like service, they'll change over to it. Trust me. They should already realize that they could make that money. So what is going to happen probably is that PS Plus is probably going to increase in price. They already increased the price of games, right? So what makes you believe that they won't increase the price of services all across the board? And if they start putting more games into PS Plus like this, the price is going up. So you're paying $80 a month. I mean, $80 a year. Maybe $99 a year. Who knows? Legend says, but wait a second. PS Plus is only $60 a year, not $180. Oh, no Xbox exclusive game is God of War tier. Oh. Oh. You're right. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, shoot. Crackdown 3 is better than God of War. Gears of War is better than God of War. It's actually not Gears of War anymore. It's Gears. It's just Gears, which is cool. Well, the thing is there aren't games like God of War or Horizon, but there aren't third-person story-driven action games on Xbox. Last one was like Rise, Son of Rome, and that was alright, but it was a little repetitive. It was good, but it wasn't that good, And the story, I was like, I don't even know what's the story. What's going? I don't even know. I wasn't interested. I mean, it looked good. Ain't gonna lie. I liked the acting for the most part, but I wasn't feeling it. So I think mainly because I like the God of War flavor kind of ties back to when like I was a kid and this was a little bit before me. But like I would see reruns of like Sinbad and the whatever, and he was fighting the skeletons, the Harryhausen, freaking skeletons. He's fighting the Cyclops, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a little kid. Put on freaking G.I. Joe Transformers. I don't want to watch this crap. But it's like Sunday, and they're playing Sinbad, and so I'm like, yeah. And so God of War kind of tickles that little nostalgia for like supernatural creatures and monsters and stuff, and that's cool. And the fact that it looks so good and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's all right. That's good. And it's good writing, good story. The thing that I didn't really get was when Kratos was fighting. Who was he fighting? He was fighting homegirl's son. Was at the end. Who was he? He wasn't Ares. Okay, so spoilers. His son is Loki, I believe. And the dude he was fighting was it Ares? I don't remember. I actually don't remember who the son was. But anyway, he was so much smaller. He was like a little dude. And Kratos is like having trouble with him. And the little dude is just punching him across the forest. And then he's like, ah. Kratos is like, oof. And he lands on his roof. I'm like, damn. Homeboy. I mean, I know they're gods and stuff. And Kratos is what is Kratos, actually? Kratos is because Kratos is dead, right? Or, see, I don't know the total backstory. I know that, I know the little dude was a god. But Kratos is a fallen Spartan that was brought back, right? He's a demigod? Okay, so Kratos is a demigod. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It still felt. He still felt a little too small. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he's a god. He's super strong, but he was kind of short, and I guess it was on purpose, but it still didn't feel. It still didn't feel like. You know. Let's see. Legend says not a single game on Xbox is anywhere close to as good as God of War, hands down, Clays. Yeah. No, I agree. For that type of game, let's be. It's not a caveat, but it's. We need to be specific in that case because different genres of games, you can't really say, oh, this strategy game is better than this, I don't know, sports game, racer. You know, it's like no comparison, right? So the God of War is a certain genre. So like, if I think the only game that's not even an exclusive, it's like Tomb Raider, like the Tomb Raider series. You know, that's the closest thing as far as that type of game, story-driven, adventure, third person. So, yeah, I definitely think that Microsoft needs more of those, and they're working on them. So I think the initiative is making one. So they're supposed to be the best. Quadruple A is so stupid. Also, Legend says, I'll go one further. Not a single game on Xbox is as good as last Spider-Man game's hands. Once again, we have to do like for like. That's hard to say because Gears 5, you have to take into account the story mode, multiplayer, and what was that other one? Breakout? I forgot what. And then Horde. There's so many different layers to a lot of these games that are on Xbox, the Microsoft stuff, the Xbox game studio games, like Gears, and we'll see Halo Infinite. We'll see what they do, but there's always if you're just straight up multiplayer, you can skip the campaign and still get out of the game all that you need. But God of War, only single player. Spider-Man, only single player, and also one and done. You're not going back day after day playing it for 9 months every day. You're not doing that with God of War. You're not doing that with Spider-Man, and that's a creative choice when making a game, yes, and that gives the creative freedom for games like God of War and Spider-Man to be targeted specifically for story, and I would say you can steer your game to be more epic and creative because you are the one you're leading the player specifically in a direction. You know what I'm saying? When it's a multiplayer, you're just playing with other people. You know, when it's Apex Legend or whatever, you know, it's a different flow. It's different. Hey, what's up? And Facebook. I got a bug in here. You just smacked me in the head. How dare you? Legend says, Opti, word up. Kaiju says, nah, I said God of War is a hack/slash game. It is, but it's still the story and the cinematic, how they shot it with the one-shot stuff, just makes it elevates it past just a regular blah game. Legend says, the last Spider-Man game was a straight-up movie. You can't front on it if you didn't play it. No. I'm not saying it was bad at all. I don't think it was. I think it was good. I think it was Insomniac's best game to date. I think it's better than Ratchet and Clank. I'm gonna be real. Ratchet and Clank has cool gimmicks like, oh, you could go through the portal and it loads real quick. Like, that's cool. Spider-Man better. You know what I'm saying? And you think about it, God of War is a hack and slash. Spider-Man is kind of like a Batman game. You know, it's an arena brawler that, you know, you go on the top of a building with a construction site and there's a bunch of dudes there and you beat them up. And then you go to the next spot in an alleyway and you beat up a couple of more dudes. And then you go to the next spot and you beat up a couple of more dudes. And then there's a boss fight. And then there's a cutscene. Hey, Aunt May, how you doing? Oh, Peter. Then Mary J comes around. Man, you better give me some. And people like, man. That's in the game, right? They be bouncing on each other. I mean, they're old people now, right? He's like 29. How old's Peter Parker? He's 25. How old's Peter? 23. He's older. They bumping uglies. Come on, son. Where was the sex scene in Spider-Man? If The Last of Us 2 could have a ugly face sex scene, that was an ugly face sex scene. Don't pretend it wasn't. I seen it. I ain't played the game. I seen the sex scene. I was like, oof. That doesn't look like oof. Where was the Peter Mary Jane? Just one last time, Pete. Come on, Tiger. Let's do it. And Pete's like, I'm gonna get that my web formula all over the room. I don't know what their foreplay. That would be weird. How do they do the foreplays? How does Mary Jane and Peter? How? I want to know. It doesn't have to be rated R. It could be PG-13. They could like have stuff blocking stuff. I'm just saying. I want to see Mary Jane and Pete. Don't they? They got a kid in this new Spider-Man. This one right here. I got the comic somewhere. The J.J. Abrams Spider-Man. They got a kid. Mary Jane's dead. They got a kid though. Spoilers. They got a kid. So, and his name is, I don't even remember his name. That's how much, I think he's redhead. I don't care. Maybe blonde. Get back to it. Sorry. He says, God of War is like Prince of Persia, not Tomb Raider. You don't hack and slash in Tomb Raider. Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about the kind of format of like where the character is and how you traverse through the world and stuff. Prince of Persia is a puzzle game. More so, okay. Yeah, God of War is a puzzle game too in some respects. So yeah, I can see that. Well, nah. So is Tomb Raider. Yeah. Well, you can hack and slash in Tomb Raider. You can use your axe, your little pickaxe, and like gank fools. You can do that. It's not as you might as well just shoot them because it's harder. Legend says you should really play the game. It was a sexy PG. Well, I know Black Cat. That's her, right? She was in like the DLC. I was like, okay, that is getting there. But come on, son. That's a teen game. That's not mature. Because Sunset Overdrive was mature. They had so many. There's a lot of curse words in Sunset Overdrive. It was pretty funny. Sunset Overdrive was another game that was similar to Spider-Man, but I hope they make another Sunset Overdrive. Even if it's just for a PlayStation 5 exclusive, whatever. I want to see what they do with that, actually. Abdi says, I got off to The Last of Us 2 sexy. Okay. If that's your thing. I ain't gonna lie, muscular ladies don't scare me. Nope. Some people like, ew, you look like a man. You're not feminine. I'm like, what? Why you? It's. I mean, people got types. Sure. Some like them voluptuous. Some like them crackhead, skeleton with skin on it. Some like the little muscles. Some like a little junk in the trunk. Some like a little top on the plop. I'm just saying. All shapes and sizes are beautiful. That's what I'm saying. Kajiro says Spider-Man is into bondage with all that web sling. Yeah. She'd be like Mary Jane would come home. Hey, Tiger, I'm home. Put the keys down. And he'd be like, flip. She'd be like, oh, it's that time. All right, come on. He'd be like, That would be funny as hell. Come on, man. Somebody got to do that. All these crazy people making stuff on the internet. Come on, make me a crazy. It doesn't have to be like lewd and stuff. Just make it funny. That would be hilarious. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, we can get rid of this. So Spider-Man, we got Halo Infinite and we got Todd Howard. We'll talk about Todd Howard first, but I guess to close off the Spidermans and the exclusives and all that stuff. I mean, the cool thing about next gen, which is so close, 9 days away for us and 11 for ponies across the world. Ponies across the world. Is that first the hardware, the newness of the hardware, the ability to do new things with the hardware. I'm excited on the Xbox side. I'm curious on the PlayStation side because, you know, their system isn't as strong. I'm not trying to dig at them right now. I'm just trying to be for real. Like when you think about next gen, you're like, okay, they're going to be able to do this, that, and this and that. Now they have the speed of the SSD, which is fine. So does Microsoft. So they can do comparable things. So that isn't a differentiator. And that's not what I'm really talking about. It's not about Xbox versus PlayStation. It's about both of them taking games to where they couldn't do, to places where it couldn't be this gen, right? So it's like it's not really about PlayStation can't really do ray tracing for real. I mean, they got some reflections. For instance, Spider-Man. There is ray trace reflections in the buildings and such, but they also there's a trick, and I do it in Blender too, where it blends SSR and the SSGI. It's ray trace GI, or ray trace reflections. It blends both of them, so that at one point the screen space reflections takes over for what would be ray tracing, because the elements are on screen, so it doesn't have to use ray tracing calculation, so it saves on the budget of the game. And that's smart. That's smart coding and stuff. But you can also see the transition when you pan the camera up and down. It's in Watch Dogs Legion. If you look at some of the I think it was Digital Foundry, I think did a long thing about that. They showed how the ray tracing kind of fades in and out. I was like, okay. Opti says that Into the Spider-Verse skin with the same animations from the movie. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's like a shout out and an homage to the movie. That's pretty dope. I think what Insomniac should do, right? They should go all the way with that, right? They should take the actual model of the actual the movie, the Into the Spider-Verse movie, take the Miles Morales model, take the freaking voice actor, redo all the lines, put dude in it, right? That would be dope. That would be the Spider-Man game I would want to play, because the movie is so dope. Then they could put Spider-Gwen in, same with the Haley, whatever, Seinfeld, whatever her name is, put Nicolas Cage in it, put all of them fools in it. Just literally make a Spider-Verse game. Use the same city. I mean, tweak it, put the cell shit. They can do it. I mean, that's basically what Miles Morales is anyway. That'd be so dope. They should, you know what? They should, instead of doing the skin, they shouldn't have done the skin. They should have done maybe like another, or maybe a sequel would be a Spider-Verse game where the actual movie Spider-Verse, the movie Miles Morales comes into this Insomniac Miles Morales game, and it's like, boom. Then it's like, oh, okay, that's it. That's kind of dope right there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they have. I mean, I guess they don't really have. You know what? I don't understand why. Huh. Well, I guess it. I don't know, actually. And there's another Spider-Verse movie coming out, so I don't even know what they're gonna do with that. So we'll see. Okay, Judas says, forget all the Spider-Man games. Just give me a Smash Brothers Brawlhalla type Marvel game with all the powers. I don't know. Cause it just says, don't let Insomniac do any more cities. They screwed up NYC and Spider-Man 4. Oh, they did? I don't. Yeah. That's a thing, right? I would assume they could have made. I mean, I know they cut down a lot of stuff just to get the feeling, to condense stuff and to save space. But as far as like PlayStation 5, it should be block for block Manhattan. Or I don't know if they're gonna throw in, Queens or anything else. Enough about Spider-Man. No, it's not enough about Spider-Man. We're gonna talk about your boy Todd Howard in a second. But I'm just saying that with the power, even the power of the PlayStation 4, Xbox Series One X, they should have been able. Well, not Xbox, but PlayStation 4 Pro. They should have been able to recreate New York City. It would have been a bigger game, but it's all streaming in anyway. So why wouldn't It's all about asset creation. They could have done it. They could have used Google Maps and then fixed it up or something. Come on, son. That's what I agree with you, Kaiju. They should have done it for real, and it would have given the game way more props, and it would have been a better game. So that's I think that was a mistake on their part, not making it like a closer 1-to-1 to actual New York. But whatever. That was their choice. Kaiju says NYC and Spider-Man PS4 feels like a city from a PS2 game. No lie. It just looks better, right? Opti says, did you hear the news about how fast the PS5 hard drive is? People are orgasming over it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's going to be... It'll load fast. It is fast, yeah. It's like hard drives, the SSD is fast, and the controller vibrates real cool. But there's no ray tracing in Demon's Souls. It's like, okay, so you have some cool stuff over here, but at what? At the detriment of your actual games being better? Like, hold up. I thought this was a next-gen console, not a next-gen SSD and controller. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real with y'all real quick. That whole hype about the controller, rumble, haptic feedback, and all that stuff, and super triggers, that is gonna fade away so quick that y'all ain't gonna even like care about it, cause the same thing happened with the rumble triggers. Nobody's talking about rumble triggers. They barely use the rumble triggers. They use it in Forza. I don't know what else they use it in. Maybe a couple of first party games, but third parties are not gonna use none of that. They're not gonna use. You ain't gonna be blowing into your controller playing COD. I'm just letting you know. That all these remember, Sony is like the king of gimmicks. Remember the 6-axis? Remember that? Remember when Rumble was last gen? They keep trying to put all these gimmicks in their controllers. It makes the controller more expensive, and it's more expensive for them to make. And it's not gonna be widespread. And the fact that it's the only controller that does it means that most developers, PC included, mainly PC and cross-gen stuff and cross-platform stuff, they're not going to use it because it's specific to PlayStation. So first-party games, expect it there if you're lucky. But besides that, nope. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about freaking rumble triggers anymore. Nobody's going to care about haptic feedback. Nobody. You're not going to be like, oh, the sand feels like sand. Who cares? Nobody cares. Is your game better than this other game on this? Oh, it's not. It doesn't perform as good. Well, I guess I'm playing the better performing. If you play a first-person shooter, you ain't gonna be caring about. Oh, the rocks feel so realistic under my feet in this control. No, you're gonna be like 120 frames more than the PlayStation 5, more resolutions, more ray tracers. Just saying. It really is about frame rate now. Okay. Legend says, didn't they make an Xbox racing game in Hawaii? Come on, man. Why doesn't it have any straight roads, all curves? That was Forts. No, that was Australia. Oh no, you talking about no, that was Australia. That was Forza Horizon 3 was Australia. Forza Horizon 4 was UK. No, they didn't go to Hawaii yet. Test Drive Unlimited was the Hawaii game, I believe. And that was I believe that was multiplat. I'm not sure, but that wasn't a good game. Okay, you said Spider-Man 2 has a better NYC than PS4 Spider-Man. The cars and traffic is awful. Get GTA 4 NYC is the that's Liberty City. That's not even. But they do have like a Times Square in there. Kaiju says, yeah, they thought they could get away with reflective windows on the building. Nope. No way, says Opti. Even Jeff Gershman from Giant Bomb loved the new controller. I'm not saying the new controller is bad. I'm just saying a lot of devs aren't going to use it to its fullest potential. Only first party. Expect first party games to use it, but third party's not going to use it. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's cool, but honestly, is Miles Morales using it all? Did anybody say anything about that? Or Demon Souls? All I'm hearing is Astro's Play Space, whatever the heck it's called. I'm like, that's a demo. That's a specific game, quote unquote game, that was made to demo the controller. That's what the purpose of Astro's Play Space is, whatever the heck it's called. Playroom. Legend says, I thought the Xbox Series X was a new console, but it ain't got no games. It's just an old Xbox. Oh, remember the Kinect. Oh, remember Milo. Oh, Milo, I remember. Watch Dogs Legions runs better on PS4 Pro than Series X. Here's the thing about that, Opti. High resolution on the Xbox Series X, because PS4 Pro is like, I forget what it is. It's lower resolution. But just higher frame rate. But if they wanted to, they could optimize for frame rate and it would run better on Series X. That's just, that's how numbers work. So, but they chose high resolution, so that's fine. I don't really care. I would play that on that. I mean, no, you mean the X, not the Series X. I mean the X, the One X. That's what they were talking about. They haven't. I don't think they've done the Series X stuff yet. But fullest potential like Halo Infinite on Series X. And how is the game coming? More key employees are leaving every week. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. I have that up. Want to touch on the way that, I'm not saying you're a pony, Legend. I know you're just goofing, but a lot of actual ponies are like, yo, Xbox ain't got no next gen games, ain't got no games to the Series X, right? And I'm like, I mean, sure. I mean, there are a lot of games. There's a lot of them got pushed to December 10th. There's 2 games, the Medium and Cyberpunk got pushed to 10th. So that kind of sucks. But as far as first party games, Sony has like 2. They have a remake, which is Demon Souls with no ray tracing, and they have Spider-Man DLC Morales. So I mean, they pushed back Destruction All-Star Derby people, right? Bug snacks. You got bug snacks. You got bug snacks, son. That's your next gen game right there. That's the first original next gen game, and it's cross gen. All those games are cross gen, so that whole argument is kind of weird. But anyway, let's talk about. I guess we can talk about Halo first. Halo. So, where's the? So there was I guess it was leaked or a hint of a leak of Halo Infinite's release date. I didn't actually read this whole thing. But they said that right here over Twitter, Clobrill says that more or less content complete, right? Which makes sense if the game was supposed to come out. So now they're trying to just make it pretty. Basically. As a result, 343 is fully focused on the technical aspects of the game, meaning making it look pretty. So I'm like, all right. And I went back and I looked at the Halo Infinite trailer. And I was looking at it. And honestly, for real, there's one major thing that's wrong with Halo Infinite. I mean, there's a few little minor things that make it better, that would make it better. But it's really the environments that kind of sucked. Right, because you got the grass popping, and the grass didn't even look good. I'm like, that's like some old 360 high res. It's high res, it's 4K, but it's so. I'm like, my thing is, a lot of the API stuff and a lot of the game stack stuff, the ML stuff on the back end of the Xbox isn't quite ready, and that's why you're not seeing like super ray tracing on all these consoles. I mean all these games, because the PlayStation was ready earlier. They've been ready for a long time. They did some tweaks in order to get it kind of close to performance-wise of the Xbox Series X, but they've been ready for a minute. They've been working on ray tracing, like how they're doing it, ray tracing, years. I remember it was like 3 years ago or something when they're talking to the Polyphony Digital, and they were like, yeah, we're working on our own ray tracing solution in software. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's what they're doing, because they don't have the hardware course to do it in hardware. And it's been kind of recent, maybe a day or two, where it's come out that the PlayStation 5 doesn't actually have RDNA 2, the full suite of the actual everything complete RDNA 2. It just got a little sprinkle, little bookie beep bloop. Legend says Spider-Man is a Miles Morales is a sequel of a blockbuster game of the year. Why do you got nothing, not nothing, nothing? Spider-Man Miles Morales is not a sequel. It is a DLC pack that they're trying to turn into a sequel, but it's not a sequel, because if it was a sequel, it would be $69.99 alone. I've already went through this. The fact that it's only $49.99 means not a sequel. It's a little expansion, if you will. And it's built on PlayStation 4 technology, so not really next gen either. Did you see that Watch Dogs has more ray tracing in it than Spider-Man Miles Morales? Did you see that whole thing where they show like the people walking and the shadows and the car driving? I was like, yo, that look good. And I look at Miles Morales, mad reflections missing. It's like, where are your reflections? Where's all that ray tracing, Sony? PlayStation's so whack, can't even afford ray tracing. Come on, son. Can't even afford ray tracing in Demon Souls. And then they try to say, oh, we had to choose between, ray tracing or all the other pretty stuff we did in our game. It's a developer choice. You know what the developer's choice would be? To have ray tracing in your game, to make the game look the best as possible. But they do smoke and mirrors. It's like, yo, ray tracing is mad expensive, so we could fake the funk and it'll run better. But if you had the power, if you had some cores, if you had some ray tracing cores in there, you wouldn't have to be like, oh, we got to juggle all this stuff because we don't have enough power to put the real ray tracing in it. So we got to fake the funk. That's why I'm like looking crooked at Sony and the PlayStation 5. I'm like, y'all can hype it all you want. But it's already going into this gen, the underdog. Not the underdog as far as popularity, but the underdog as far as power. Same way that the Xbox One came into last gen or this gen. Underpowered. So they're already at a deficit. So that, to me, tells me that PlayStation 5 Pro is sooner than you think. I'm going to say 2022 fall. PlayStation 5 Pro comes out. That's my prediction. They talk about, 7 years console life. Yeah, right. PlayStation 5 ain't gonna last 7 years. If they lose money on PlayStation 5 every sale for 7 years, okay, they're not gonna lose but it's gonna take them a while to get in the black with the PlayStation 5. It ain't gonna be no like 4 or 6 months like it was with the PlayStation 4. Nope. They're gonna lose money for a minute. Legend says, only says the game, the company, and since none of us have actually played Spider-Man Miles Morales, then what? What Xbox release game has ray tracing? None. Xbox release? You mean first party? I think that the medium. I think that what's that name? Scorn. I think Scorn has it, and that Bright Memory has it as well, I believe, but I have to check. Your Bright Memory is gonna be $1. It's gonna be $8 for sale. I mean, it's gonna be on Game Pass, so I'm not gonna pay for it. But $8, that's a deal. All right. So wait. With the Spider-Man, we haven't played it yet. But wait, what were we talking about? None of those are launch games. Yeah, but Spider-Man has like half-ass ray tracing. That's the only launch game that has ray tracing on the PlayStation. What are you talking about, Legend? And the whole launch game argument is foolish. Because all the games you're talking about from the PlayStation 4 generation that you're like, yo, you can't do this on Xbox. This is the best. None of them launch games. You ain't talking about Knack. You ain't talking about Killzone, Shadowfall. Y'all got amnesia when it comes to those games because they hot garbage. Nobody talks about launch games. They talk about 2 years in. That's when God of War came out. 3 years in. That's when Horizon came out. 3 years in. So launch game don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. People are going to buy the consoles regardless of launch games. But it's about power. It's about multiplats. Yo, you playing COD? Everybody's playing COD? I'm not playing. A lot of people playing COD, right? You see 2 consoles, right? Be like, yo, which one of these boxes plays my COD the best? That's questions that some gamers be like, you know. And then with Bethesda, come on, son. Bethesda. Microsoft, Xbox locked down Western RPGs. Y'all ain't got nothing. Sony ain't got nothing. They bought all of the studios, son. They bought things like, yo, we're a Western company. Yeehaw. Let's just lock it down. And in the process of locking down all the Western companies, they gained a Japanese studio. You didn't realize that, right? That Bethesda owned a Japanese studio. Tango Gameworks, that's a Japanese studio. They made Evil Within and they made Ghostwire Tokyo. That's a Japanese studio. Microsoft will soon to own that Japanese studio. Microsoft is slick. They infiltrating slowly. And there's rumors that they're still going to buy Sega. They're going to buy Bloober Team. There was a whole list. I was like, what? They're going to buy like 4 what? Yo, if they bought Sega, I would be happy. Because I want Sega to be around for a while. And Microsoft got so much money that they realize the value of game preservation history. That's why all this backward compatibility stuff is so important. People are like, oh, it sucks. Who wants to play them old games? But it's like, that's not what it's about. It's about preserving what got us to this point. And Sony's not really that interested. If they were, PS1 and PS2 and PS3 games would be playable on PlayStation 5. Come on, son. What are you doing? You know, we need to save these things. So, like, Lil Jr. comes around like, Daddy, why you like video games? Well, let's sit down here, son. Let me show you the game that made me love the games. And he's going to be playing Space Harrier. But now I got to, like, create a whole MAME cabinet machine to do that. Actually, I could play it on my... Actually, I can buy the... That's one thing about Sega. They made you buy that Genesis collection again. I was like, man, you suck. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm a little behind on this thing here. Legend says, no launch game on Xbox has ray tracing because they don't have any exclusive games. Ratchet and Clank has ray tracing, and it'll be out before any ray trace Xbox game exclusive. I don't know about that. And also, Ratchet and Clank does have that half-ass ray tracing. It's a lot of. I'm not saying that to diss them, but I'm saying like a lot of you have to pay attention. A lot of the ray tracing on the PlayStation 5 is kind of half ray tracing, half SSR. I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying it's just the cards that they're dealt. It's not the cards they're dealt. How they built the PlayStation 5 dictates how ray tracing will work and perform on the PlayStation 5, and it's not as good as the Xbox Series X. That's all I can say. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you know, like console war stuff. That's just what it is. And they, like I said, they can smoke and mirrors it and it'll look fine, but you know, when it comes down to it, that's what it is. And the further we get into this generation, the harder it is going to be for them to keep that fidelity up, like top tier, because they don't have the hardware to do it. That's why I'm saying the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be coming out sooner than you think. And if I was a Sony dude, I would be like, I would hold tight, man, because I'm telling you, man, they misread what Microsoft was doing, and they under engineered the PlayStation 5, and it's huge. You see how big that damn. So, they messed up when their system is so much bigger and so much less powerful. It just doesn't make any sense, right? If it's that big, it's got to be more powerful. Nope. I think they probably hope people think that, oh, it's more powerful because it's bigger. I was like, that's not really. Sorry. Bethesda is 2 years out minimum. They ain't even bought the company yet. Yeah, that's the thing. They got to wait for the deal to. Dealing time, they don't own the company. Yes. Sorry, edit deal ain't signed. They don't own the company yet. Yeah, I know. They said sometime next year, so I would say hopefully in the spring, but I did hear that they were like next fall or something. But I was like, I mean, if Microsoft doesn't see any issues, I don't think there is any issues. And thinking about it, I mean, it's a big company and a publisher, but it's not like anyone else, like Amazon and Stadia, Google. They would have bought them too, and it wouldn't have been an issue, right? Because they're trying to, build content, and that's what it's about. It's about content. When you put it in the context of, Xbox is trying to build content for their streaming service, their game, quote unquote, streaming service / Game Pass, then it's different. Then they can say, just like Netflix, when they buy all these movies and then they make deals with Adam Sandler or whoever, it's the same thing, and they put it in that context. It's not like, we're just trying to buy the competition. That's not what they're doing. They're buying content for their platform. So they're actually, it's different from like Facebook buying Instagram, where it's like, they thought them as a threat. It went through anyway, but that's more of like, they're kind of eating into our they're eating into our market, so we better buy them so it could be ours. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Referring to ray tracing, how do you know the system ain't out yet? Games ain't out yet. All perspective. As far as the PlayStation, they showed it on Digital Foundry. It was the they did a longer demo of Miles Morales on PlayStation 5. I think it was Miles, or was it? It might have been I think it was Miles Morales, or it might have been the first game on PlayStation 5. But they showed how the screen space reflection worked, like especially like on the further stuff, like the further buildings across the river and stuff. They showed that stuff was screen space reflection, but all the closer buildings closer to Peter or the character were actual ray tracing ray trace reflections. So I was like, okay, I see how they did that. And as like, I deal with that stuff all the time when I'm doing like CG and trying to light and do all this stuff. And it sucks because you can't put the camera in certain places. Like, I want the camera here, but then it's like the reflection disappears because there's no information for the screen space to get. And it's frustrating. And I see that every time when I'm playing games, I see it now because I have to deal with it so much. And it sucks. And that's why ray tracing is so cool, because it's like, oh man, that stuff is there, and it just adds an extra level of not reality, but just detail to give it a sense of realism without it having to be photorealistic, So that's cool. Legend also says, but you're saying we should buy an Xbox on hopes that they are going to clear a deal on a company they haven't even bought yet. I mean, they signed the paperwork to buy Bethesda, right? So they've signed a contract with Bethesda saying, we're going to buy you. And Bethesda said, so all they have to do is get through the regulations, the regulatory steps. And that's all governmental stuff, so that they don't violate any, monopoly laws or anything like that. That's all that is. It's just like red tape. They just have to do that. But as far as the deal between Microsoft and Bethesda themselves, that deal is done. Bethesda's like, yes, please buy us. That's done. But what they're waiting on is the approval from, antitrust and all that stuff. And they're like, we don't see an issue. So it's like, I don't honestly, I don't see an issue either, Because like I said, if it wasn't Microsoft who bought them, it'd have been Google or it'd have been, Amazon. And what's the difference at that point? The difference is they would have been exclusive to stuff we don't even play. So you'd have been saying goodbye forever to, unless you want to go play Stadia. You want to play the next Elder Scrolls on Stadia? I don't think so. I wouldn't do that. Nope. I'd be like, oh well, I guess I'm playing something else. I guess I'm playing Avowed. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. They have Obsidian. So it's like, it ain't like, oh man, they got Obsidian, they got Avowed coming. I'm like, yo, even if the next Elder Scrolls is kind of hot garbage, they still got Avowed. And then they got all these RTS. Man, they are making moves so hard. And they still, like, I'm anxious to see what they do on the 9th. I don't want to hype it up too much because this Bethesda thing, the ZeniMax thing, kind of, it took the whole video game industry by surprise. It's like one of the biggest deals ever. And it was crazy. And we're still feeling it. Even though the deal isn't done, when the deal is done, then it's done. And then we'll be like, okay, it's done. Whew. But it's still a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal, the deal itself, but it's still a big deal as far as making moves, right? Like Insomniac was bought for what, 250, 300, let's just say 300 million or something, 350, 100 million, 7.5 billion, all cash. It's crazy. And then I will guarantee you this: if Insomniac wasn't bought by Sony and they were still free agents right now, they would be like, yo, Microsoft, you want to... I bet you people are lining up like, yo... that's why, like, you know what? It's not too far-fetched to say that Sega might sell. Because Microsoft got deep pocket. Microsoft has, like... I forgot. It was like $100 and something billion... Not that. I think it is $100 something billion of money to spend. And I was like, that's a lot of money. I think it was that much. Yeah, it was that much. Because I put it in the context of... they spent $7.5 billion. And then I heard of how much they had to spend. It was like maybe $140 billion or something. To, just money, just cash money to spend on stuff. And that's just Microsoft as a whole across everything. And I'm like, oh, so $7.5 billion ain't nothing. I'm like, woo. And their market cap is like $1.4 trillion. They're getting, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that I am surprised that it took them this long to flex their dollar muscle like how they're doing now. But I'm glad they are, because it's not really about versus Sony, like, oh, let's do it against Sony. It's about keeping video games as a whole viable and sustainable and just healthy overall. You know what I'm saying? That's why Minecraft is on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of games that they have, that's why the deals that they made, the Bethesda deals that were made before Microsoft acquired them, are still going to be honored, because they don't want to harm or hurt the video game industry as a whole. And that's what I like, how Microsoft approaches things. They say, okay, yes, we're buying Bethesda. It's a deal in the making, but we don't want to take away games from this, that, and the third, because that hurts video games. Now, exclusives, okay, but that's for people who are stubborn and are like, I'm only gonna buy a PlayStation. And that's your bad. That's your choice. That's like saying, oh, I'm only gonna buy a Nintendo Switch. I guess you're not playing a lot of games. I mean, some might come over, but you're not gonna play a lot of games. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. Legend says, you ever bought a house, you could lose that house in the middle of the deal, and the deal ain't done till it's... Yeah, of course. But that's different, because there's different... That's a close, but it's like you're buying a house. It's like you make a deal with the seller, right? And then the seller says, sure. We'll give, yes, that's a price. That's a fine price, right? So that's where Microsoft is right now. But if the bank comes back to me and says, yo, we ain't giving you the money, sorry, then the deal's off. But Microsoft, the money's not the issue with Microsoft. It's really like I said, regulations and stuff. Now, is there a way to not get a house as far as laws and regulations? Sure, but that's on the seller, right? That's like, oh, the seller has to put a new roof on it because you can't sell this house in this condition unless you sell it for cash. You can't do a mortgage, sorry. Then that's a whole nother thing. But that's not what we're talking about, because there doesn't need to be a new roof put on Bethesda, on ZeniMax. Microsoft has the money to buy them. So I understand where the analogy was, but it's not quite the same. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do agree. The deal isn't done until anything could happen. Sure. Possibility that it could fall through for some. Yes, of course there is. But it's different. This is a different situation. So, Legend says, oh, I'm sorry. Opti says, LOL has nothing to hurting the video game industry. They agreed to make games for PlayStation. If they refuse, they will be sued. If they're sued, they can pay the money. They could settle. What are you talking about? You know how much they got, right? You know they got a lot of money. If they wanted to be dicks, they'd be like, yo, no more PlayStation. Sorry. Take them all back. Take off Elder Scrolls Online. Take off, well, you could keep Fallout 76. But I'm just saying, to take it all back. And then Sony's like, we're going to sue you for $100 million. That's how much we'd have made. Okay, here it is. Here's your check. Get out of here. Get off our property. They wouldn't go that way. I'm just saying, they could settle out of court if they really wanted to be dicks. Money is not a problem. Money's you acting like suing Microsoft. Oh man, Sony's gonna sue Microsoft. Oh, they're gonna hurt them. So, but no, it's not good. No. Legend says, I still think Bethesda is a bad deal. I believe Sony will make more money off of Crunchyroll than Microsoft will make off Bethesda, but we will probably never know. Nah, I don't know about that. I heard about that. Why would they buy Crunchyroll? And I thought they already had Crunchyroll. I thought, or it was just like a, I don't know. They have Funimation, right? They got Funimation. Look, that part of Sony is different from PlayStation. Sony, okay? We're not talking about PlayStation because you want to go into like the Microsoft side acquisition, like they bought LinkedIn for like $26 billion back in the day. I don't know how that's making them money, but it is making them money somehow. So, there's a lot of little moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts on the Microsoft side, and there are some on Sony side too. But you look at the value of both companies. Microsoft is larger, way worth more. Sony's there. They make moves. They do a little something, but it's a fraction. So. Yeah, that's just the reality of the situation is as far as those big two corporations. But if we're specifically talking about video games and what they're doing, making moves, Sony said that the PlayStation VR kind of hot garbage, and we're not gonna nah. This is Jim Ryan. He said, we're not gonna we gonna wait. It ain't that good. It kind of sucks. I'm just paraphrasing, but I'm just saying they're kind of stepping away from VR. That kind of sucks, doesn't it? It's a brand new console. They can make VR even better. I don't know what to say. It kind of sucks. Now, they're smart. So this is what I think is going to happen. They're probably going to do a deal with Steam with Gaben, because they were in meetings. They were making deals. He's in New Zealand. He's a Kiwi now. Either they're going to do a partnership, or I was going to say Xbox is going to buy Valve and Steam. And I'm like, if Microsoft buys Steam, the funny thing is, we would have never said stuff like that before the Bethesda move, right? It was just like, nah, that's too much money. That's no way. We thought that Minecraft for $2.6 billion or $2.4 billion was crazy, right? But that made them money. So now the narrative can be if Microsoft buys whatever because they have that much money. So if Microsoft buys Steam, right? So now the Xbox Marketplace and Steam are one. They integrated. It's just on the PC. It's just Steam. On the Xbox consoles, it's a hybrid. Or actually, the new Microsoft Store, the Marketplace is pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. I was on there. I was like, oh, this is fast. And you just click on the thing. You play a video. Starts real quick. I'm like, yo, they did their work. It's way better than it was before. So, I mean, that's not even an issue anymore as far as that stuff. But the Steam, if they bought Steam and they kept it the same way, they just integrated their titles into Steam, didn't change, I would say, like too much or anything like that. Just keep it the same way. Don't change anything that would disrupt the PC functionality of how Steam works. It's like Steam is the biggest PC platform. That, and plus you got Valve, plus you got the VR stuff. So you'd be like, oh, let me get a Valve Index, or they make a cheaper version, or any of the other mixed reality stuff that's on PC. It works automatically. Just plug it into your Xbox Series X. Boom, VR. You don't have to. You could have your old PC VR headset and just plug it into your Xbox. It works. And I'm pretty sure they can make that work. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's possible. And I think that someone did that. I think someone hooked up a PSVR to a PC at one point, but they could only watch. It could only use it as like a virtual desktop. I don't think there were any native things they could play with it, or they can play the games in a virtual like theater or something like that. Yeah, I think that's how it was. But yeah, they work. So that was one thing. Like, oh, I heard the Epic rumors, but then I thought, like, after they had that meeting, I was like, yo, if Microsoft buys Steam, Bethesda's here, buy Steam is like, yo, we trying to take over, son. I'm like, oh, that's like a whole nother level right there. That's like, oh, well, where's Sony gonna put their games on PC? Are they gonna put them on Steam? If they own it, how would that work? You know what I'm saying? But that's speculation. I doubt that'll happen. But it might. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Gaben is I don't think he is opposed to an early retirement. I don't actually know how old he is, but they could give him a couple of billions of dollars, and he would be like, all right, I'm out. I'm gonna retire in New Zealand. See you later. He's already there. He already like pretty much moved his whole freaking studio. Valve's over there now. So I'm like, yo, that it's weird to say, but it's actually not impossible now, that the way that Microsoft is moving it and trying to make Game Pass the thing. So I'm like, it's kind of exciting in a way. I don't know. We'll see. Legend says, real talk, Microsoft buying Steam now, that would be a lucrative deal, and they could probably do it for less than they bought Bethesda. I'm not hating on Microsoft. I'm just hating on the deal. I don't believe in it. Bethesda's on their way out. They may not have a good game left in them, and they already own the company that put out Bethesda's best game in recent years. Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have a new engine, which is the first step in the right direction, because that old Fallout Oblivion engine, whatever it was, horrible engine. So the new engine will be on Starfield and the new Elder Scrolls. So that'll be better. But as far as I don't think the thing about the Bethesda deal is that I believe that they paid 2 to 3 times more than they were actually worth. So like Bethesda was probably worth around 2.5 billion, to be honest, but they paid more. They paid 7.5 to just be like, boom, and mainly it's for operational cost, but it's also for like anyone who's in the company, right? the bosses, the shareholders, and I don't know actually if they have shareholders, if they're whatchamacallit, but they did that so they could secure the deal. You know what I'm saying? If you want to buy something, right? And like there are gonna be people like bidding on it, or maybe, you know, you don't put the lowest price on. Be like, yo, I want this house, paying top dollar. Period. Like, you asking for that? Boom, there you go. Sold. That's it. That's what they did. And I would think that it was more about securing it financially so that, you know, the studios can continue working without any hindrance. You know, everybody's gonna get paid. It's just a good move overall. They have the money. It's not like they're hurting for it. They have the money to secure a deal, to pay twice as much as they should, 3 times as much as they should, in order to keep what they were doing, Bethesda and ZeniMax, keep it all together. They don't have to fire anybody. They don't have to do it. Like, you know, a lot of times when studios are acquired, you know, there are cutbacks. They're like, oh, you know, we acquired them. You know, we're gonna cut back. Some people are leaving. Da, 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 you know, however they phrase it. But that didn't happen this time. Well, I mean, the deal's not done, of course. But as far as like how they're talking about it, you know, nobody's moving. It's just business as usual. It's just you all getting your checks from somewhere else now. That's, you know. Listen, I don't think top dollar is 2 to 3 times more than they should have paid. I'm just saying that that's what the thinking was behind paying what they did. And they have to see value in is they got 8 studios, right? So if you divide the 7.5 with the 8 studios plus publishing, so you have a publishing house plus 8 studios. So if you divide that, that's less than a billion. It's less than a billion. It's hundreds of millions of dollars, you know? And it's still on the high side, but think about it, right? You know, Insomniac was bought for, was it 250 or was it 350? I think it was 350, right? 350, but that's just Insomniac, the studio, the creative studio that made the game. Not publishing, not anything else. Not engine tech. Well, they use, I don't know what they were using. So I guess, yeah, they got their engine tech. But they just didn't get game studios. And that's the thing. So it's like, you got to look at that. Come on, man. Fallout 76, their flagship series, other than Skyrim, was the worst game of the year. Yeah, Fallout 76 was their giant stinker of recent days. It was really bad. I mean, I heard it's better now, but I have no interest in it. And they tried to do some online Fallout, and I had no interest in Fallout anyway, but no. But they got studios. They have to pay for all the personnel, all the stuff that, and you know, overhead of that. Then they have engine tech. They got the id engine. You know, they have these IPs. It's so many things. The studios, IPs, engine tech, and publishing. That's 4 giant things, right? So when you think about it, and you divide up all, it's like, oh, okay. Well, if you put it in that way, if you put it in that context, it's like 7.5 doesn't seem as much if you take into consideration all that they purchased. And I would say that the IPs alone are worth a lot of that, you know? I would say id plus Doom is worth $1 billion, you know? Maybe. I mean, Minecraft was 2.4 or whatever. And that was a little studio and the game and the engine and, you know, just all the rights to that. So, yeah, I mean, I would say Elder Scrolls is probably the biggest fantasy Western RPG. Skyrim killed it. Skyrim is still like the most giant game ever. Well, but it's up there with like GTA 5 and Minecraft and all that. Fortnite, I guess, if you want to consider that. But yeah, you have to look at the IPs. You have to look at what they're getting. And I'm, you know, when I sit back and I actually look at it, I think about it, and you think about the tech and all those things, and they're building a new engine, that's theirs too. So it's a lot of moving parts, and it's a lot of worth there. Yes, they paid more than what they should have. Yes, but that was the point, to secure it and to be like, yeah, you know. So Skyrim was a 360 game. Janet Jackson said, "What have you done for me lately?" Yeah, but the thing about Skyrim is that it's not the console versions. It's the PC version. The PC version has so many mods. There's a mod for Skyrim. I totally forgot what it was called. But these people, I don't know who they are, but they literally took like every aspect of Skyrim except for the actual map and geometry. They changed everything. They got new voice actors, new characters, new quests, everything. They called it something else, but it's like a super mod. And it's like a totally different game. And I'm like, oh, I think they changed like the menus and they changed everything. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Bethesda makes no money off of mods. It's not about making money off of mods. They tried that with Fallout, and it was, that wasn't a good idea. But no, it's not about making money off of mods. It's about people still playing Skyrim now. And it, like you said, it was a 360 game. When did it come out? 2000 and... Oh, let me look it up. When did Skyrim come out? Nope, that's not it. When did Skyrim come out? There's. I don't even want to read this crap anymore. Who cares about this? And who cares about that? Skyrim release. Date. Skyrim came out in 2011. 9 years. And people are still playing Skyrim. That's crazy. People are still playing. There's still videos of people like, yo, look at this new mod in Skyrim. It's crazy. How many Skyrim sales? Let's see. Skyrim sales to date. Oops. To date. This is technically last week's news. Last Thursday's, to be precise, Skyrim has sold 20 million copies since it launched in November. 20 million. Oh, here it is. Wait. Margaret estimates that the game has sold 22.7 million copies worldwide in November 16. Howard announced Skyrim has sold over 30 million copies. Wait, what? Huh? So it's over 30? Yes, it's over 30. Huh? Skyrim sales in the first week of release, 450 million. Skyrim total units sold 23 million. Whoa. They made $1.39 billion on Skyrim sale revenue. So that's the thing, right? Look at how much Skyrim has made. 1.4 billion. It's 1.100. So minus that from the 7.5. You know what I mean? Even though, you can put in the however many millions it took to make the game, but still, that Skyrim sales revenue is a reason why they had to pay so much for it. You know what I mean? Legend says, but they paid more than Disney did Marvel. Man, that's out of hand. I know. I don't think, because Disney, what did they pay, like $4 billion or something like that for Marvel? Because all Disney did was buy the IP. They bought Marvel IP. Well, they bought Marvel IP and they bought the publishing of the comics, I believe, as well. So that was more of an. It wasn't more. It was the comic stuff too, but it was more of an. It was more about the IPs, so they can make movies. You know what I mean? This. Like, if you think about it, like how much did Spider-Man, and this is just movie stuff, but how much did Spider-Man comic books make last year? How much did all of Marvel's comic books make last year? Let's look that up. So, Marvel comic sales 20. Let's do 2019 because 2020 is so screwed up. La 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 la. Doop. So comics, graphics, novels top 1.2 billion. Okay, that's a bad example. 1.2 billion in 2019. All right, so that's comparable. But that's all of it, right? And when we talk about Skyrim's one game. Now, if you want to add up Doom and freaking all the other games, then you're talking more money, So, that just says, why didn't Microsoft just buy Rockstar? That's a more lucrative game with a more powerful perspective of making money. I think that all of the people leaving, like the Housers leaving, I think both of them left, or just the creative Houser left Rockstar after Red Dead 2. So that's an issue. That's like when Lord and Miller left Solo. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to see what the next Grand Theft Auto is going to look like, because the creative dudes, the guys who made it Grand Theft Auto, the guys who made them Rockstar games dope, he's gone. So I don't know. We have to see. So that's where you say, oh, Rockstar. I mean, the IP, yes, but it takes. You got to make a good game. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna buy the IP and then put out a hot garbage game and expect people to buy it. It's both. So like, if the next Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man 2, whatever they're gonna call it, comes out and it's kind of hot garbage for some reason, or I don't know, then the IP doesn't it's just like The Last of Us 2, right? Technically, it's an excellent craft. It's an excellently crafted piece of video game technology, but it's kind of hot garbage because the story was whack, right? Or the story was not universally accepted or praised. And so you can have one piece of the puzzle, the formula, but if you mess up on any other part, then it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a little bit. Legend says, now I know you're tripping. You telling me that with Rockstar we have to wait and see, but with Skyrim that's a sure thing. No. That's not what I'm saying. Skyrim is a more giant question mark, because their quality is in question. I'm looking at Starfield. I'm like, okay, it looks all right, but I mean, let's see, because Fallout 76 was hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? The last thing you put out, hot garbage. So y'all got to make up. So you got to make it up to us. But what I'm saying is that Rockstar lost their captain. Hauser is gone. So who's going to replace him to make that Rockstar flavor, to make them GTAs what GTA was? Because he's not there no more. That's what I'm saying. It's like losing your quarterback, son. It's like losing the director. It's like when Scott Snyder, that's a bad example. I was going to say when Scott Snyder left Justice League, and then they brought in freaking that clown, Josh Whedon. That was not the right person to bring in. I don't hate him or nothing. I think he makes okay stuff, but nah, you don't. That was nope. Two tastes that don't go great together. Because Scott Snyder. Man, I'm getting confused with the comic book dude. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. He makes a particular type of movie with a particular type of aesthetic, and that's the Snyder way. But you can't. It's not Scott Snyder, is it? Whatever. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, Skyrim has a lot to prove. Not Skyrim. I'm sorry. Oblivion has a lot to prove. Whatever it's gonna be called. But that's where I'm like, okay, if Oblivion's kind of whack, Avowed, I have more faith in Obsidian than I do Bethesda at this point. But it's not just about Fallout and Elder Scrolls. It's really about the whole package. It's really about the Doom. It's really about the Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. And the what's the other studio that made the Dishonored? Those guys, they're making Deathloop. Yeah, it's about that stuff where it's like, oh, okay, they all have potential to put out AAA content, right? It's all about time and money. You give them enough time and money, you could put out AAA. Period. That's the formula. That's the basic formula. Time, money, AAA. Whether or not they want to do that, I think what they're probably going to end up doing is taking each studio and kind of doing a splinter, like a little side studio, like they did with Obsidian. Obsidian took a 14-man studio, and they made Grounded, which is pretty I think there's how many? I was gonna say 2 million, but I think there's more than 2. I think there's like 5 million. There's a lot of people playing. No, I think it might be 2 million. 2 million people playing Grounded, or have played, or whatever they say. I'm still playing it. I think I'm gonna wait until they're having an update. I think when the console release next week, or the 10th, they're having a new update. The koi pond. I'm like, oh, okay. I saw some stuff. I was like, oh, all right, that's all right. So I might go in there and build some bases and stuff. Build me some little forts and some outposts, and then. But anyway, I think that's what they'll do. They'll have little splinters of the main studio. So like Bethesda, the Obsidian, the Elder Scrolls team. They'll have 10, 20 people come off of there and do a little something. Or let's say 10. Do a smaller game to fill in the numerous months that are in the year. So you figure that once the machine of all these studios get going, that they can have a AAA game at least a quarter. So 4 AAA, like I'm saying AAA games a year, right? At least minimum, maybe 6. So every 2 months you get a AAA. And that's realistic because they have 23 studios. So like I said, if they splinter off, I think they're supposed to have 35. They have 23 studios, but I think they have 35 actual studios, like, splinters and kind of smaller subsets. So that's way more than enough. Especially if they're going to kind of grow like the We Happy Few guys, the hell they're called. I don't remember them. I think they might make I think they are working on a AAA game. In Exile is working on a AAA game as well. You still have Turn 10. You still have Playground Games, who's doing Fable and Forza Horizon. So that's 2 AAA games. But also Turn 10 is actually helping. This is so weird. Turn 10 is helping Playground on Fable. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, is there going to be like cars or something? So I was like, oh, all right. So there's a lot of cross-pollination with these studios, especially like Turn 10 and Playground, because they work so closely together. And that's so cool because, well, it means these devs got work. You know what I'm saying? They won't be like, oh, we ain't gonna work. Oh, we're gonna have to cut the studios because you're not performing. No, Playground has quickly become one of the top developers at Xbox Game Studios. Playground has been putting out bangers ever since they started. Forza Horizon, the first one was a banger when it came out in 360. I was like, oh, this is dope. But I wish next game come out, boom, they did it. I was like, okay, well, shoot. And they continue to make the same game, but better. I'm like, how are they doing this? They put freaking day and night cycle in it. Then they put weather. I'm like, yo, they put seasons. I was like, huh? It's crazy. When they put the seasons in, I was like, okay, this is just ridiculous. Every week the season changes. Like, I'm in the snow. It's springtime. It's summertime. It's so good. So good. And the seasons affected. Oh, man, so good. So I'm like, I'm looking at Gran Turismo. I was like, y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do seasons. Y'all barely doing ray tracing on it. Legend says, do they just make weed legal in Florida? Come on, man. They can't even get Halo out. Halo's a whole nother. Halo. Oh, let me go back to. Oh, I closed it, didn't I? God dog it. I closed this. Oops. I could go on my history. Recently. Oh, here it is. So look at this for a second. Oh, wrong one. I want to close that. There you go. I already said Halo's content complete. They're just working fully focused on technical aspects of the game. Meanwhile, the insider notes that they absolutely expect the game to release sometime in 2021. That's where it ends. I guess that's it. That was a dumbass. Why did I? Huh. All right, so that was dumb. But yeah, so Halo was delayed because they say COVID, blah blah blah. I say people saw it and they were like, yeah, no. And I was like, yeah, no, too. I was like, some things look okay. Some things don't look okay. What are you doing? What are we doing here, right? You know, I remember Halo 4 looking kind of dope. I'm like, yo, when you're in the jungle and stuff. No, that was Halo. That was 4? I think that was 4 or 5. One of the two. I was like, yo, this jungle is dope. Fighting the Promethean dogs and stuff. I'm like, oh, man, it's dope. And I'm looking at Halo 5. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with your trees? They look like sticks with, like, flat pieces of paper on it. What'd you do? Why did it don't look good? And people are like, oh, it's the lighting. There's no ray tracing. But I'm like, nah, son. Nah. I mean, that's true. If it had ray tracing, it would look better. I was trying to put a number. I was like, it look 100%. Like, I can't even say that. I would say it'll look better. Ray tracing makes everything look better. Contact shadows. You need ray trace shadows. You need ray trace reflections. And you need global illumination. Okay? Those 3 things at the highest possible resolutions make it look better. If you have high resolution ray trace shadows with, I forgot what it's called, but there's a fall off that happens when the shadow is like closer as opposed to further away from an object. It fades out. I forgot what it's called. But that plus the reflections, there's actually a thing with Watch Dogs 2. There's kind of a limit on the reflection, the distance of the reflections. If you look at it, they kind of disappear after a while, and also the resolution. Kind of like Spider-Man, how it's doing half resolution from what the native is. So if it is 4K or so, it's 1080p, but I think it's actually lower than that. I guess it depends on the actual native resolution, so it might scale to that. You know what I mean? So whatever the native resolution is, like say if it's, I don't know, 1440p, then it might be upscaled from, I don't know, 900 or something like that. That seems like a lot. Maybe 720. 720 is 1440. Yeah, maybe 720 with the temporal. I don't think they use temporal reconstruction on the ray tracing stuff, so I think it's only for the main stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. But the I totally forgot where I was going with that. Legend says, if Halo came out with a console with good graphics, that would be a game set match. I can't even get a PS5 right now, but I feel like I could get an Xbox. I would 100% get an Xbox instead, but Microsoft dropped the ball. I'm so into running the game. That's true. That's true. I agree 1,000% with that. But I would rather them just delay Halo, get it good, get them graphics gooder, and then let it come out. Because like if you think about it, say if it comes out in the spring, around springtime, so what is it gonna go up against? Ratchet and Clank or Horizon, maybe? Horizon Forbidden West? Or God of War? I mean, if you think about it, even though those games are dope, I ain't gonna say God of War Ragnarok or Horizon Forbidden West is hot garbage or poop, as Opti says, Halo is poop. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna say that if all 3 games came out the same day, I think Halo Infinite might do the best. Not because of the graphics of the campaign, not because of anything else, not because ray tracing, but because it's Halo multiplayer. That's what a lot of people just play straight up multiplayer. Red versus blue. They play all the old whatchamacallits, but there's also gonna be probably some new stuff. I don't know if they're gonna do a battle royale. That'd be interesting. I think they actually have somebody did a battle royale in Forge, so I think that's actually working, but I don't know. I think Halo Infinite the multiplayer is going to be free anyway, so boom, there are going to be more players on that than God of War and Horizon, because it's free. Hello. But as far as the single player, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what that looks like. People were going to buy it this fall because there's no other launch Xbox exclusive, but now no one's going to buy it. That's not true. People are going to buy Halo because it's Halo, not because it's a launch game. That doesn't make any sense. Opti says Halo multiplayer has been garbage for a while now. That's not true. Actually, Halo 5 multiplayer has been the best than 4, obviously. But and it has been the best. I remember I played is it called Warzone? I think it actually is called Warzone. The Halo that one mode. It's pretty dope too. I was like, yo, this is kind of good, cuz it's like I forgot how many players it is. It's like I think it's 20 player. It's it might be more than that. 4 teams of 5 or something like that, plus NPCs, plus like bosses and stuff in a giant sandbox. It was crazy. I was like, yo, this is kind of all right. Hobby says, hell, even you don't even Halo anymore. SG. That's true. I don't. I was gonna play it. I downloaded it again on my X. I was gonna play it the other day, but I was like, I don't feel like playing it. And so you trip it again. People moved on, and it ain't about Halo no more, and it hasn't been for decades. Come on, son. I'm talking about multiplayer. Yeah. It's all about Call of Duty right now. 200 players beat that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they have in store. They got the guy from. I mean, they got Joe Staten back, and then they got the guy that was doing the Master Chief Collection multiplayer stuff to work on Infinite. So, and they literally fixed Master Chief Collection because it was messed up in many ways, and now it's like actually kind of good, I guess. Like I said, I haven't been playing it, so I downloaded Guardians again because I was like, I want to play it. I want to see them graphics, but anyway. I think that's all I got. That's all I got today. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate. Halo was dope. I think Halo's gonna be all right. Cause Halo is like it's like the grandfather of shooters. And I know everybody's on that battle royale tip. And Halo they'll probably have a battle royale mode in Halo Infinite, but I don't see how like Halo 5, right? The main gripe with players and people was the story was whack. But that was it. Nobody complained about the multiplayer. Nobody complained about anything else. Although they're like armor coatings now. They're talking about some crazy. I'm like, whatever. Pay $5 for a freaking color swap or shader or something. It's like, all right, well, they got to pay for it somehow. I don't know. I won't buy none of that stuff though. Legend says, with Call of Duty, the game styles change up every week, keeping it fresh. I don't think Microsoft is dedicated enough to put a team on reworking the game on a weekly basis. Look at what's going on with Call of Duty right now for the Hunting Vengeance variants. OMG. I don't know, because the Master Chief Collection takes a lot of there's a team on that all the time, so I don't think that's true. And I don't think you realize how big 343 is. 343 is like the biggest studio that Xbox has, I believe. I think there's at least like 500 people working there, like 500 regular people working there. So it's not like, oh, they got to hire some. No, that's how big their studio is. I think it's 500. I heard, for some reason, 1,000 people jumped into my brain, but I'm like, there can't be 1,000 people working at freaking 343. So I'm going to say 500. It's probably more, but whatever. But they have enough people, and they can hire people. It's not. They can do. They're gonna do what they need to do to make Halo what it needs to be. Boom. That's why it was delayed, because it was whack. That's why the dude left. Chris, I forgot his name. Because they brought in Joe, and he's like, yo, you got to go. It's like, yeah, man, I thought it was good. It's like, yeah, it wasn't. And Joe was like, yeah, nah, people don't like that. All right, I'm going. I'll pack up my office. So now he's working on Clippy Part 3. Yeah, he's working on they're going to revamp Clippy. Bring it back. I'm tired and I'm hungry and I gotta go. I gotta work tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be the worst day in the world. I'm gonna get in early so I can get out early. Well, I can get out at a reasonable time. Legend says it's impossible. They don't have enough variety to keep up with games today. Halo needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. That's what they're doing. That's why they have a new engine. Anyway, it'll be good. I don't. It's Halo has never been not good as far as fundamentally. Like, the problems with it have been either multiplayer was half-baked or the story sucked. And that was only in Halo 4 and 5. I mean, which were the 343 games, so you can't really, a grappling hook is redoing the game that ain't even close. I mean, that's an addition, but that's for mobility because I think the play space is going to be bigger than it usually is, so. But, yeah. But anyway, because if you played them old, go play Halo 1 multiple. That shit is slow as hell. It's slow as hell. Go back and play the original Halo. Slow as hell. So that's the grappling hook is a nice addition. Anyway, I gotta go. Appreciate you hanging out. What's that? Nice music playing. I'll play this song. Have a good November 2nd. And thank you, Legend. Thank you, Opti. Thank you, Kajudo. Thank you, Bonds. Everybody in all games. Pace, of course, is in all games. He's here too. That's it. Oh no, I'm on the wrong now. I'm on the wrong page. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Let me look. Who's in all? Oh, we got Alt. We got Binary 667. We got Burr. We got Derek H. I'm sorry. Hey Jude, we got Metal, Sonic, Shadow Next Gen, Tiger Claw, and Watch Dragon, and Zappe. Appreciate you guys hanging out. And I will see you next time. Next time. So to wait.